A lot of games based in the Alien IP were based in the Aliens universe and was really focused on guns and killing. And we really wanted to do something different with Alien Isolation. I'm Al Hope, creative director.
And Simon Ridge, animation director.
We're super proud of the reception the first game received. It's really exciting that we were doing something we felt was quite different at the time. A lot of games based in the Alien IP were based in the Aliens universe and was really focused on guns and killing. And we really wanted to do something different with Alien Isolation, where we wanted to take you back to that first movie where just one alien could be absolutely terrifying and scary. And that was kind of like, I suppose, our promise to the player, that we would transport you back to that kind of time and place. And so it was really reassuring and satisfying to see the reception the game has had since its release, and how the fan base has grown over the last 10 years. And so it felt like a really great time to come back to make a sequel, to create a new chapter that felt really authentic to Alien, but also builds on top of the things that we did in the past to make the most terrifying Alien game ever. So I'd been thinking about what a sequel could be even before we finished the first game. I guess it was seeing the response that the game had and how that grew over the last number of years. Obviously, as a studio, we have a number of different projects, so we're always busy. But it felt like 2 years ago when we announced that we were returning to make the sequel, it just felt like the right time.
Well, I mean, the big, I mean, you guys played it, right? So the big shift this time around is a huge part on the first game was the fact you were in the interior, you're inside, and the big change this time around is you go outside. Obviously, it was such an important part of the experience of the first game, that kind of claustrophobia that the players had when your reaction's great, to being inside, and then I think the opportunity with this game to go into the outside and then see the players kind of, I guess, have a different reaction to that, and then see what they can then offer once they actually get into the exterior itself, and how that changes the game, and also the relationship with the alien as well, and seeing that creature and how that behaves in the outside.
Yeah, I think what was really exciting about this opportunity was to tell a new story in a new world through the eyes of a new character, to create an experience to really, use that first game as a foundation, but we really wanted to create an experience that felt like a really natural evolution from what we did in the past. So we absolutely love the 1979 Alien movie. We love that 70s view of the future, that kind of lo-fi sci-fi, the kind of push-button technology, and so we love creating new spaces that feel really true and authentic to that experience. So we've already done that once with Alien Isolation, and we want to expand on that in Alien Isolation 2. I think what we've already shown is just a glimpse of where we're going, but I think once again we're returning to that world. Alien Isolation took place a couple of years after the events of the first movie. Alien Isolation 2 takes place months after the events of the first game, and so we're really closely connected to that first movie. So a lot of the same look and feel returns. And yeah, absolutely, it's about immersion and atmosphere. It's about the lighting, the sound, really sucking the player into the experience so that when the alien grabs them, they have a emotional reaction.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a huge effort, I think, to just maintain immersion constantly. It's so important to the team, and we've spoken about it before around like how important it is that all the things are in place when we're making the game to actually really kind of gauge that experience. The goal first time around with the first game, and the same now as well, is just to for the player to be in a position where they're never really seeing it as a game, that they are completely engaged and locked in. And from our perspective, like of animation, it's about the characters themselves giving a believable performance, so that you are just within that moment and never stepping out of it. And I think that I guess that kind of almost adds to the horror, because you're kind of just constantly on, basically. Obviously, given some time has passed, technology has advanced, and it sounds very obvious, but I mean, fidelity is a very sort of important thing, I think, to target straight away. The quality level, we want to kind of go even further than we did before. We're very, very proud of how the first game looked, and still think it looks fantastic now. I think if anything, that really helps us kind of springboard into what we choose to do next. We can kind of see what worked first time around. We've had the time to then see the players play the game and how they've reacted to what we felt worked from a technological point of view. And then just really now is, say, with the times past and the fact there are more things available, we're able to sort of build upon that and I guess offer more, hopefully, and offer more variety and a more in-depth experience. I think that's the main one.
So everything we do our goal is to make it believable. And so everything we do is kind of in service of that. So we don't create things that are really high fidelity for the sake of it being high fidelity. We do it
to service that experience.
To service and support the world feeling really, really believable. So that all the elements, the lighting, the visual effects, the audio, the environment, all come together to create this space that's very much like the movie. That you feel like you're being transported back. Well, I was going to say, so obviously technology is constantly evolving. We have that really fantastic foundation from the first game that we're building on top of. This time around, we're using Unreal Engine, which is a fantastic tool. But for areas where we need to be able to really fine-tune the experience, so in terms of lighting and audio, we're creating our own custom technology in order to deliver that for the player, and it's really exciting. We, for example, in audio, we have a lot of the original team working on the sequel, so in terms of the creative and in terms of the technology, it's a real genuine continuation of both those strands, and so we can really push even further the experience, and hopefully you got a glimpse of that yesterday.
Well, I think I'd only just reaffirm what I was saying, which is that I think, again, the advantages of seeing what we feel worked first time around, and then sort of assessing it as a team ourselves, and being critical of where we think we can make it better. I mean, on those particular areas you speak about, we're able to, I guess, go further in terms of we know technically how we need to do something because we were able to do it before. As I was pointing out, obviously we're using Unreal Engine, but I think it allows us to then target certain areas, whereas usually maybe you'd be in a situation if you're starting from the beginning where you've got lots of options and you need to kind of pick ones, whereas we're able to, I guess, maybe best choose what those best things are to advance. Well, I guess the most important thing is we're making a game for the core experience, right? For our original fans.
Well, so we're I think what was exciting about going back and creating a sequel was being able to have the opportunity to create a new world.
Yeah.
To create a new story with a new character. You play as a character called Blake, who's a Weyland-Yutani employee. They haven't encountered the alien before, so they don't have any experience of what they could do.
Yeah, they've got a fresh perspective on it.
Absolutely.
As well, right?
And so this is both a fantastic next chapter for fans of the original, because they see a continuation. You saw the hazard lab that had been ejected from the first game has crash landed on the planet, so there's a direct continuation from the first game there, but you're seeing it through the perspective of a new character. And so that really gives us the opportunity to tell a new story. And so whether you're a returning player or a new player, just dive in and experience that really authentic and terrifying isolation experience. We wanted to tell a new story, but we really did want to tell the next chapter, what happened next. And we love Amanda Ripley. It's a very important character to Alien Isolation, but it felt like for the sequel, there's such a brilliant opportunity to visit a new world that no one's seen before, to tell this story through this character's new eyes. And we feel like this is a great character. I mean, we look forward to sharing more about this character in the future, but she feels like a great continuation of the legacy and the tradition of really strong female characters within the IP. So yeah, we're still early-ish in development, but I think one of the things we want to do, one of the things we're doing differently this time is we wanted to get people's feedback, and we wanted to show what we were doing and to get their feedback, see the reception, which has been so far amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's one of the things we're doing differently in terms of development as well, is whereas with the first game we kind of kept everything within the studio for a long time. This time with Alien Isolation 2 we're doing much more kind of real world testing with real players, so we can get their feedback and we can take that input and make an even better experience. Again, we're only showing a small glimpse.
Too many specifics.
Yeah, we're only showing a small glimpse of the experience at the moment. For us right now, it's super exciting to show and share that we're incorporating the exterior. So we have the familiar interior spaces that Simon was talking about, where you feel trapped and claustrophobic. That's very reminiscent of the first game, where the player really would like to get outside. We now have these really evocative, atmospheric, really hostile exterior spaces, where the player will feel really exposed and vulnerable, and actually maybe they'd like to get back inside again. And so for us that's really exciting, because now the player can try and use their core survival skills in both spaces. The alien again will be systemic and is just using its senses to try and track the player down, so it's looking for you and listening for you in both spaces. But then we have the fantastic weather system, which is really playing with that information
both for the player and the alien, right, in terms of sight and sense.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah. So that's modifying the information that you need to survive. And so I think right now that's the most exciting aspects of what we're sharing at the moment.
Wow. Hard to not move.
Well, yes, I mean that's oddly where we started. Before, in the first game, before we had any designs or we had anything, no code, no graphics.
Starting with that question,
it was a question. Like we're in our studio, and okay, so we released an alien. But at the time, I think I said like a tiger, like to try and make it feel real. Like I said, what would you do if there was a tiger in the studio as an equivalent to the alien? Like there's no guns, there's no, like, you'd have to be quiet, you'd have to try and hide behind things, and you'd have to keep peeking to see where it was. And then, okay, right now you need to get to, say, like a fire exit. Okay, how are you going to do that? Well, I'll move from this desk to that desk, I'll wait, I'll look, I'll move to the next desk. And that was like, well, imagine that's the alien,
and I suppose
that's the game.
That then extended into, figuring out the options to give the player, right? How to deal with that scenario and the choices that they would then have to make. And then even further to that, in terms of the experience you're creating with the alien, you know, what you would see, what you wouldn't see, how that would look in kind of making that whole thing feel, you know, like that really intense experience. And I suppose now it's, you know, it's going beyond that even further, because like we've spoken about a few times now in terms of the exterior and how that adjusts again.
Yeah,
fun seeing people experience it.
Yeah, so it starts from those very simple. Well, so how would I survive? Just be very quiet and try and be as small as possible.
Yeah.
So I was really fortunate during the first game to come and visit Latin America, Sao Paulo, Mexico City, and meet some of the fans in Latin America who were super lovely and super excited about what we were doing. So I genuinely cannot wait for them to get their hands on Alien Isolation 2, to see their reaction and to see the stories they're going to share when they get a chance to play.
I mean, I guess the same as it was first time around. It's we as a team, I think we want to make something great, to state the obvious, and so I think the opportunity to do it again and deliver that to our fans and in Latin America, we know how passionate they are about the game, and so yeah, it's really exciting. We feel that, you know, we understand the expectation, but it's also like a fun, a good pressure, right? You know, we really care, the team care about what they're doing a great deal, and yeah, it's a great opportunity to be able to do it again.
Oh well, for us
that's not a silly question.
For us, it's all about that one-on-one intimate encounter. That's the heart of the experience.
Really reaffirming the strength and the power, I guess, of that alien.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.